we welcome you all for another edition of Editor's Desk, Research Circle Editor's Desk. As we always do, we have another editor of another journal, today's edition of Research Circle. So previously we had from social science, then engineering. So today we are having Associate Professor Dr. Hasanain Faisal Ghazi. He is the editor-in-chief for Global Journal of Public Health Medicine. So, Associate Professor Dr. Hasanain Faisal has got a PhD in Community Medicine from Malaysian National University, and he is also a fellow of American College of Nutrition, and he has published more than 90 papers in international journals. And today he is going to share us more details about the journal in which he is the chief editor. Not only that, he is going to advise the authors and the viewers about how to go about submitting the paper to his journal, and in general, what are the points which a chief editor looks into before paper is accepted. So to know more about him, please refer to the details in the description below. So without taking much of time, let's welcome Dr. Hasanain Faisal Ghazi. Good morning, Doctor. I'm not sure in Iraq it is good morning or good afternoon. So
hello, good morning.
To this edition of Research Circle.
Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the first thing today, I would start the interview for the benefit of the viewers. I know you know about you, like what is your profile and everything, but for the benefit of the viewers, can you just brief us about like what are the different researchers you are involved in, what are the journals you are involved in, and more about your experience and other stuff.
Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Dr. Hasanain Faisal Ghazi. I'm from Iraq. I am a medical doctor with MBCHB, and then I did master and PhD in community medicine from the National University of Malaysia, UKM. And also I have a fellowship from the United Nations University, International Institute for Global Health. And then I started teaching also in the National University of Malaysia for around 3 years. And then my last position in Malaysia was in Management and Science University, MSU. Also for 4 years, I was associated professor. And I was involved in this research and publication for the past 10 years. I have around 93 papers now, 58 of them in SCOPUS. And I am the editor in around 4 journals and the chief editor of 1 journal. This is in a brief about me.
Thank you very much for that short explanation about your profile. I know if you go in detail, it will take more time to explain about what all you have been involved with. Anyways, that was a good introduction for the viewers. So next, coming back to your journal in which you are the chief editor. Can you just brief us more about your journals? How did you start, from where it started, and what is the status of the journal and the indexing of the journal at present?
So we start our journal, the Global Journal of Public Health Medicine, the GJPHM, Global Journal of Public Health Medicine in 2019. Actually, it was an idea between a few of us. We are all public health specialists. So we had this idea in Malaysia. Actually, the idea started in Malaysia. So we searched for the name first, of course. We want the name to be a public health because all of us are public health specialists. And also, nowadays, we are now in the Corona era. So global health can include everything. Even now, IT can be under the public health. Everything can be under public health: environmental, occupational, health management, epidemiology, infectious disease, nutrition. Everything can be under public health. That's why we come up with the Global Journal of Public Health Medicine. And the first issue was published in July 2019. with only 5 papers, the first issue, because the first issue, people, they are scared to publish in a new journal.
Yes.
We don't have Google Scholar, we don't have ISSN. So yeah, and the first issue, when we start the first issue, we didn't use the OJS. We start using the OJS from August 2019 because we that all these predatory journals, they are using the submission by email, which is very query. The people are suspicious. That's why we want to have an online submission system. And of course, the most important for us is to be free. Why? Because we don't have any financial support. So one of the best option for us was the Open Journal System, the OJS, which is a Canadian. It is a free software. So we start all this online submission in August 2019. So now anyone who go to our website is www.GJPHM.org. So you need to just create your account, username and password, and then all the online submission is done. Everything is online. You need to follow the 5 steps, and then you submit your manuscript online. So everything is online. So after that, we start with the indexing. Of course, the most important, we start with Google Scholar because we want our paper to be visible to the largest number. You know that most of the people from our country, developing country, they go for Google Scholar because other database, they require money. So we start with Google Scholar and also Microsoft Academic. And then we went to the WordCat. WordCat. Also now we are indexing the WordCat, and of course we are indexing the PKP. Next, it is belong to the OJS. And what else index we are in? We are in the research bar, and also we are in the SIS index. Okay. And recently, like 2 months ago, we joined the JGate. Just recently, we signed the agreement with the JGate. They are from India also. So we signed the agreement with them. And our plan is, after the 4th issue, we are going for DOJ, the Directory of Open Access Journals. And our planning for the next 3 to 4 years, we hope that we can go for SCOPUS.
Yes. So now, see, we have been, this is like a 5th or 6th edition of Editors Day. So previously we had some editors of social science journals, then the engineering journal, so science and technology. So you are the first one representing the other part, the medical journal. So how different it is for author submitting to like medical journal as compared to engineering or social science? How it is different? Like what are the things they need to consider something different for the medical journals?
For medical journal, as you know, we concentrate more on the methodology. Example, we are talking about the sample size, the sampling, all the equipment, if you have experiment, how you conduct the experiment. And of course, for medical journal, and especially for public health, we more focus on statistics. Yes, because we are public health, we are teaching the statistics, so we are very concerned about statistical analysis. We look for the tables, do the statistical analysis was correct, the statistical test was used is correct or no. This is important. But the other things is, like any other journal, the most important, when a paper submitted to our journals, I receive an email they said that there is a submission was submitted to the journals because I'm the editor-in-chief, so I received this email. So I go to the manuscript. The first thing for me is to check for plagiarism. This is the most important for me. Of course, we are using the Turnitin, and are very particular that the percentage should be less than 20%, and from any reference should be less than 5%. This is the regulation in our journals. And if it is more than 20%, we return it back to the author, and we ask them to make the correction and resubmit again. And believe me, there are some authors we return back to them 5 times. Even if it is 21%, we return back to become less than 20%. Then after it become less than 20%, the second thing we check is that the topic is within the scope of the journals. Then we send it to minimum of 2 reviewers.
Okay.
This is the minimum. Of course, some author, they suggest the reviewers. Sometimes we take their suggestions. Sometimes we have our reviewer bank that we send. And of course, we have our editorial members. We use them as reviewers. Most of them, they involve in the reviewing and also in the process of they recommend if this paper is okay to publish or it is better to reject.
Okay.
So we use the editorial board member and we send to 2 reviewers. Usually we give the reviewer around 2 weeks.
2 weeks, huh?
Okay. 2 weeks. But as you know, most of the reviewers, they don't finish in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So sometimes we remind them and we give some extension.
Okay.
But usually now our average time is we give around 25 to 30 days.
25 to 30 days. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For the first decision.
Okay. Okay.
And to be honest with you, we don't have accept without correction.
Corrections. Yeah, that is that. I think that is the sign of journal. Good journal.
Yeah.
There should be some. It cannot be that you accept the paper and they send the paper and they accept without any correction.
Yes.
Correct.
We have we ask for revision and also we focus on English equality. Why we are focusing on English equality? Because later we are thinking for future when we go for SCOPUS, they will look for the quality of your published paper. That's very important. That the quality of the English should be very high.
Very high, yeah.
Yes.
Like as far as I understand, actually, my background is more of management and sustainability and towards engineering. But one thing I've noticed that whenever there is some paper related to medicine, there is this ethical concern ethical approval becomes very important. Can you just brief us more about like how it is followed and what are the points to be taken care during the ethical approval?
Actually, for any medical or health research, whether it is on a human or even if you do your research on animal, if you do an experiment on animal, you need an ethics approval. What is ethics approval? In every university, there is an ethics committee. The job of this ethics committee, when you have a research, you submit to your ethics committee in your university or even in the hospital. They go through your research. The most important for those ethics committee, they want to make sure that your research will not harm your participants.
Okay.
And of course, that you have to keep your confidentiality of your participant. This is very important. And of course, ethics is very important if your topic is very sensitive. We are talking about some religious issue, sexual issues, child abuse, violence against women. All this is very sensitive issue, and you need an ethics approval. And of course, nowadays, even for our journals, in the methodology, you must have a statement that your paper has been approved from ethics committee. Some journals, they're asking for the picture of the ethics approval, but we didn't reach this point yet. We are just sticking with the number of the ethics approval. And the most important that you must mention that the consent form was signed by all participants, that they are voluntarily participating in your research. This is too important. And of course, the other things now, from the third issue, we introduced that statement of conflict of interest. Now it is compulsory that at the end, before the reference, you have to state, the author, they need to state if they have any conflict of interest or no. As you know, for medical journal also, it is very important, especially if you are talking about pharmaceutical research.
In these times of COVID-19, so you being not only the editor, but you are so much into research. And I understand that you even have a Facebook group which has got a wide range of researchers, right? You have a community of researchers who have come together. So you are managing that as well, the social media account. So I want to know how this two questions related to COVID-19. One is how this COVID-19 has changed the way research is done. And second thing, what are the latest topics related to COVID-19 which there are submissions for your journal. So can you just give us a brief, just a highlight on those two questions? Yeah.
For the first question, of course, now when we are in the era of COVID-19, everything has become online.
Yes, right.
If you want to do a workshop, you want to do a lecture, you need to book a place, and then you need to invite the people to come. Now it's and of course not many people will attend your workshops because it is difficult to go physically. But now with the COVID-19 and online, actually we are having more people online participating in our workshops. Actually, for the past 5 months we did around 10 workshops, online workshops. Most of the workshop attended by more than 100 participants in every workshops. The participant was very high. The other things also, as you know, also we have a YouTube channel. It is the same name. The Facebook group and the YouTube channel is Research and Publication. Yes. So we produce a lot of educational video because we have time. Previously, we are working. We don't have time to produce educational videos.
Correct.
So now we have more times to do educational videos to the people and also to do more workshops. And the other things for COVID-19, now we do like a research network among researchers in Iraq. We are conducting a few research on COVID-19. We conduct till now 2 research and also 1 research in Malaysia. So now currently we are working on 3 research regarding COVID-19. Regarding the journal, we announced for a special issue for COVID-19, and the issue will be published tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Tomorrow, we have 6 papers, 3 regarding COVID-19 and also 3 regarding the SDG. Why? Because this special issue was planned from last year. It was only on sustainable development goals. But because of the COVID-19, we put the COVID-19 with it. So tomorrow the issue will be published. The article are already 3. So one of the articles for the COVID-19, we have one about elderly. Why elderly is the most affected people by COVID-19. And one review paper, we have about the lethality of COVID-19 in Europe. Why Europe the cases in Europe was very high. The third one from Malaysia is about COVID-19. It's a review paper about COVID-19 also.
Malaysia.
So we have the 3 papers. This is for tomorrow issue. We have a special issue. We receive other papers, but actually we asked for revision, and there was a deadline for submission. The author did not correct within the time frame, so we forced to be reject all these other papers. But of course, our next issue, the 4th issue, will be in September. So if anyone interested to publish about COVID in September, the submission is still open.
Okay. So now, given this scenario of COVID-19 and the way research is done and all these things, so what is your opinion on how it will affect the research as such? Like, do you think this COVID-19 will produce more number of research papers, more research output, or do you think the people will be too busy with other things that they will not be able to do any research as such? What is your opinion on that?
Now, to be honest with you, COVID-19 will affect the research negatively. Why?
Okay.
Because if you want to do a research, we are talking of medical. I'm talking about medical and health research. We need to do in the lab. We need to do in the lab. I'm talking about public health. We need to go to the community. We need to go to the population. We cannot just depend on doing online questionnaire and send it. Maybe this is for management, for educational, can be done. But for medical and health, it's too difficult. We need to go to the population. We need to go to the community. And nowadays, it is difficult for us to go to the community because of the restriction. We have, even currently today in Iraq, we have movement restriction for 1 week. We cannot go out. This is the 2nd week. They extended for another week. We cannot go because for the past 2 days, we have more than 400 cases per day. That's why they extend for another week for movement restriction. So we cannot go outside unless we are wearing the face mask, the gloves, and all these the PPE. So I think it is affecting the research output will be less. But to be honest with you, review article will be more. And also, I saw a lot of people now is writing books.
Books, yeah. There's a number of books are more now because they don't need much of data on the books. Yeah,
Yes,
right. So overall, before we wind off, we want, based on your experience being a chief editor, being an author of so many papers, being an associate professor, so what is the advice for young researchers who are just starting their journey, one, and two, for the people who are thinking of publishing in a high impact factor paper? So if you can give some tips to them, so the certain criteria they have to take care.
Actually, when I give a lot of workshops on how to publish your paper for young researcher, for a new researcher, I always tell them, do not focus on Scopus and Web of Science yet. You need first to go for normal journals. You just go to the small journals, you publish 1 or 2 papers, you get experience about submission, about reviewing, how you answer the reviewer comments, how you correct your manuscript. Then you aim for a high journals. Why? Because if you immediately aim for a high journals, your paper will be rejected. And I know people, when they get rejection, they become very disappointed and they don't want to publish again. So this is the point. First of all, I told them you just go for a simple journals. Even you go with your university journal only index in Google Scholar or any other simple index. You publish 1 or 2 paper, you gain experience about the submission, the review process, how to answer reviewer comments. And then after 2-3 paper, you can go for Scopus. And later you can go for Web of Science, which they are Q1 or Q2 paper. Why? Because they are very difficult. Their acceptance rate is very low. And the most important, also I tell them, if you go for high journals, before you go to the high journal, you do English editing. This is very important because people in the very high impact journal, they are British or American people. The most important for them is the language. They are very particular about the language, and sometimes your work is very good, but the language of your manuscript is very bad, and your paper will be rejected. And I think this is unfair. So better to improve the quality of your paper, I mean by the language, and then you submit to the high journals. And of course, if you think your paper is worth to be published in a high journal, it is you need to retry again and again. I have a paper rejected from 9 journals.
Okay.
When I was very young, rejected from 10 journals, and then the last journal accepted. It was impact factor 1.7. Why? Because because in every rejection you get comments. You improve your paper. Rejection, you improve your paper. You improve until when you look to the first version and the 10th version, it is totally different.
Correct.
Yes. So this is my advice to the young researcher is to start step by step. Don't go to Scopus and Web of Science immediately. Start with the small journals. You learn step by step. This is important. And then once you start, I usually say that publication is like a train. Once you start, nobody can stop you.
Correct. That I do agree with you, because once you get the trick how to publish and you know how to construct a paper, I think then it's very easy to go on publication. So it's only the initial part which we should take care. Yeah. So thank you very much for this short session, but I'm very sure you have much more knowledge to share with the audience and viewers. And since you have not only been into journals and research, but you have also created a research community as such. So to interact among researchers, you have organized so many events like workshops and conferences. So we will surely call you again for maybe a workshop or any other lecture or something. So we would be happy to collaborate with you which will help even to the viewers. So because it will be a bigger, wide range of audience. So we will definitely look to have more from you from the future episodes as well. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hisham, for having me today, and wish all the best for your research community. And of course, we will collaborate more in the future. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and stay safe, stay home, and hope this COVID-19 goes up very soon so that we can get back to normal doing our usual research, especially in the field of medical, which is very much needed right now. Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
So this was another edition of Research Circle. So we hope that this was the discussions we had today was very useful to all of you. And this is from a medical journal. And Dr. Hasanain Faisal Ghazi joined us from Iraq. And not only that, he is a medical doctor. So he gave a different perspective in terms of how the medical papers are processed and published, and what are the points to be taken care in that. So we will definitely have more sessions like this on other fields as well. And I thank all of you for joining us and supporting our session today. And please share our YouTube videos so that more people get the advantage of this interview. And as I always say, we are a community of researchers who would like to help other researchers, and we hope you all will join us in future sessions and contribute to this community by sharing your research, your new projects, and all those things. So you can send it to the email ID below. So we will ensure that it is shared among the community through our social media platforms in Facebook, YouTube, and soon we will be coming up with the app as well. So we will share your videos there, so you can reach to a wider range of audience. So until the next edition of Research Circle Editors Test, thank you all. Stay safe and stay home, and hope this COVID-19 phase ends soon and we get back to our normal research state. Thank you very much.